Oh, how we doing, everybody? We're taking a break from the walk. Karma and I, we're sitting down. If you see, hey, Carm, how we doing, baby? Yeah, you doing all right? Great. And so I thought I would have a little chatski and hutch with y'all about how the Epstein case in particular is unraveling in such a fashion. I think it's out of control for a lot of people. So if you missed my last video, I literally put it up within the last hour. There's some points I want to hit on here. Now, number one, Epstein was in court, period. So no matter how bad whatever happened last week was, whether it was an assault, whether it was an assault combined with a suicide attempt, whether it was just a suicide attempt, whether it was all a show, I don't know. But I do know that he showed up in court and there was no visible marks on him. They would have been reported. All right, number two, we're in this for the long haul. This isn't going away. This isn't like one and done, okay? We're looking at easily a year before trial. Honestly, I think it's going to end up being prolonged even further than that with all the revelations. Epstein's team wanted a trial set date of September 2020. I believe the defense wanted June of 2020. Either way, the long haul. Now, one of the more disturbing allegations and headlines today was that Jean-Luc Brunel, this person who's, trying to distance himself from Epstein, the fashion magnate, etc., an internal investigation has left a voice message on Epstein's phone in April. I forget what year it was, whether it's this year or not this year. But remember, he's trying to distance himself, and now through FOIAs by the Daily Mail, and that's what I mean. Big time, very well-resourced journalists are now going to start filing these FOIAs, and they're going to start getting them. And in this thing, it seems like it's a coded message for Epstein to meet two 8-year-old girls, two Russian-speaking girls for Russian lessons. And there's two calls after that. Bradley Edwards insinuated as such, and he's the guy that beat Epstein in a lawsuit. In that lawsuit, basically, it was about to go to trial. They were about to pick the jury that day, or start jury selection that day, and Epstein folded right there. So, the other big thing there is that now, after the raid on his place, and they said they were going to use some of the information they gleaned from the computer devices there, and we already know about the pictures, hundreds if not thousands of pictures in this safe with the fake passport. They're now openly discussing other people being investigated, under investigation, 100%, and sealing those type of documents. Meanwhile, a bunch of documents have been unsealed and are being unsealed. And especially in the case of Ghislaine Maxwell and Virginia Guffrey Roberts. Now, due to one of the great members of the Burmese Brigade, 52 watching, only 4 thumbs up. Come on, guys, help me out here. We're trying to grow this channel. My God. I do have a bunch of those documents. I've shown you that court docket before. You had to buy them on Pacer. I've been talking about them. Well, I think I have a little over a dozen, maybe under 20, somewhere in there, 12 to 20 of those docs. So that's the next big thing. I'm probably going to go a deep dive into those after I review a bunch of them, because I hate going in cold. I only go in cold if there's a live event going on, and I think that we have to be on the scene. So we've got that, and who knows what we're going to find. I see Cernovich's name all over them. I see the Miami Herald's name, Julie K. Brown, all over these documents. So I'm not sure how much we're actually going to find out, but we're definitely going to go through them. That being said, I sat through the Democratic debates last night, and they were terrible. It was hard to watch. It was pretty awful. However, I did do a short review today of those debates. I wanted to wait to do a long AMA. I didn't think I had it in me to do 2 in a row, but I'm going to be doing one tonight after the second round of Democratic debates. So put that on your schedule. We will literally be going live minutes after the debates end. I think they'll probably end right around 10:30, and I'm looking forward to doing that. And someone's asking, if Epstein dies, does this just go away? I don't think this just goes away. I think there's just so much out there now that it can't go away. Do you think it can go away, Karma? Karma, what do you think? No? I don't think it's going away either. No. Me and Karma in agreement. It's not going away. So the question is, what other big players can we take out? You know, how much more can we find out? How much more light can we shine on the darkness in there? And speaking of that, that's what this channel is about. It's not just Epstein. It's not just, you know, the pedo networks out there. It's everybody. It's the deep state. It's the one, not so much that, you know, Donald Trump talked about, but the one that was coined by Peter Dale Scott. Peter Dale Scott, amazing historian, author, writer, researcher, and national treasure, in my opinion. Went to McGill University, had small classes with the likes of Brzezinski. You couldn't be more farther apart on the political spectrum than as a big new Brzezinski and a Peter Dale Scott. And, you know, he's probably not going to be around much longer. So if you're not familiar with Peter Dale Scott and what the true deep state is, I hope that you go check out my film, Invisible Empire, A New World Order to Find. It's free. I have it in my playlist. You can watch it on YouTube. And Peter Dale Scott gets a huge part in that. And that's because, again, guys, you know, obviously I do stuff that is somewhat bigger than Epstein. You know, the future keeps moving. And although Epstein was very involved in technology and funding universities, et cetera, in fact, in that Dershowitz piece, one of the things I didn't talk about, but I should have talked about, that 25-minute deep dive into Dershowitz, is how they talked about Epstein collected scientists. Like it was kind of a hobby. You know how celebrities and actors collect people, you know, of various skill sets just because they kind of like to have them around? Well, apparently Epstein liked collecting intellectuals and scientists. And yes, if you look into his investments, he had investments everywhere, on both sides of the political spectrum, and definitely in the tech world. And that's why, again, you know, transhumanism, the technopoly, the technology that's out today, Neuralink, are things that I'm focusing on and talking about. So I think that those things have to be talked about. And guys, that's not why I think this is growing so quickly. For instance, the Burmese Brigade is now almost at 30,000, and I want to thank you guys for that. If you're new to the game, please sub. We do more than just these little walk-in talks and sit-in chats. We do a lot of deep dives. We do a lot of breakdowns. We do a lot of great interviews with people all over the political spectrum, from Eric Jackman of the Jackman Brothers, who I'm going to go visit in, where is it? It's going to be in New Hampshire, outside of Keene, I think Portsmouth. And I'll be doing an interview on politics and pints with Dylan Avery, who, you know, I got my start in this game with. Yeah, I'm proud of what I did with Loose Change. Were we perfect? Absolutely not. I feel like I've corrected my errors and I've spoke out about it. That's what men do. That's what human beings do. That's what people who want to be taken seriously do, is that they're honest about everything, including their mistakes. They don't say, I have the sources, and they don't have any sources. Or we have the documents, and you have an article that maybe mentions a document you've never seen. Meanwhile, I'd like to take you guys on the document deep dives because I think it's very important to be transparent. So, you know, thumbs this video up, share it, make sure that you are subscribed, ringing that bell, and remember there's tiers of notifications out there. It's people that work at YouTube and Google, and I know you guys know it. I got nothing but love in my heart. I'm not a hater. I don't preach hate. I don't preach divisiveness. I'm not a conservative for sure, so I don't know why I'd be censored on that front. And we have to realize the real censorship is to independent, anti-war, peaceful thinkers that expose the media, military, industrial complex, the technopoly that's out there, the real connections between this very, very, very devoted, very, very, very cunning network that doesn't give a gosh darn whether you're black, white, purple, Asian, Indian, Muslim, Christian, etc., etc. You're just another number to them. It doesn't matter what side of the political spectrum you are. It's us against them for real. And it ain't the 1%. It ain't the 0.01%. It ain't the 0.001%. We could start talking about, you know, the 1 in maybe 100,000, 1 in a million of that predator class that really are trying to take advantage of us on every level and buy up both sides of the political spectrum. And when somebody like Tulsi Gabbard, who may have things to say that they don't like, suppress her speech as well. And we did a video on that. So remember, we're doing 3, 4, 5, 6, sometimes 7 videos a day. We're going to be doing that deep dive into the Ghislaine Maxwell documents that nobody else seems to have. but myself. I have shared them with a couple other researchers. They will be out there, I promise you. I'm not keeping them to myself. And then later tonight, we're going to do a Ask Me Anything post-Democratic debate to see what you guys thought. I want to thank you very much. Remember, I got to GoFundMe. If you can donate there, thank you so much. I really appreciate that too. We'll see you all on the flip side.